We've seen Karma not versus Senna, if it is going to be locked in here, and snap locked by Kingen. He could be playing it, Showmaker could be playing it, Kellen could be playing it, Aiming could be playing it, who knows? But definitely can get all the way around the rift. And what is the T1 response to this? Still a fair few things up and available. They could
expect Zeus to really pummel, has played this a ton.
This is one of Carrier's specials.
Yeah, that really is a no Lucid. You don't get to play the game. This though, kind of the same thing. The value of the vibe really is going to be pretty substantially mitigated. Same for the Rakan. If you have the ability to just eat your carries. On Vi, as in the most damage and the best clear, but if you don't have Q, like you can't.
Well, you can see we're looking for a little bit of a knock-up already. The Ignite is down as Aiming looks for the Q, the flash forward, and Kellen grabs first blood in the bottom lane. They took himself out of the way. A lot was invested as Kellen making his way towards the mid lane once again as Faker. He's going to be snared. Not going to have to flash just yet, though.
Successful heist.
Indeed. Although it was in neutral territory, so... we got a grand entrance here on the bottom side of the map. Let's focus on that for a second as Carrier has been ignited and still looks somewhat unperturbed in this lane in comparison to last game, as Gumayusi is able to dodge himself out of the way, has the ghost this time around. Good movement, but he's still going down low. They do in this game thus far. Lucid looking to try and opt into finding something else here as Carrier going to be engaged on. Vault Breaker going to come in as well as Showmaker's making his way down. Gets the flash out from the Tahm Kench, and that will be valuable. Targeting this guy is going to be important as Veins of Corruption going to come in there as Featherstorm comes down. Very aggressive move from Aiming as Gumayusi's down low, but Ona will turn up, looking to try and save his bottom lane, and that is going to work out here as Faker reaps the rewards in mid.
And they're not actually able to get a kill there. Area.
Yeah, Grand Entrance coming in. Another Ignite is down as well, but only one Feather does pass through. Battle Dance going to have to be utilized here by Kellen, uses the second charge as well as Aiming just taking shot after shot. The flash is late, but it's still going to be enough there as the Magnet Storm does pull back the Rakan. But Lucid looking for his opportunity. The flash forward doesn't work there from Kellen. The Carrier not going to go aggressive. There is the Mantra and Cuba. Gumayusi sidesteps it. It's not going to be enough to keep him alive. And now Carrier, I think, knows his fate. Looks for the Tongue Lash to try and find a cheeky little kill, but Showmaker might be gifted too. Aiming actually could be very dangerous times. We saw what Dudu did yesterday, and that was pretty ridiculous. As now Ona looking for an opportunity. They haven't started off this Drake, as now Kellen burning down. This teleport is going to come in. There is the teleport, but this Drake is just going to go. Can they find a team fight on the back end though, is the question. Mantra Q does a fair bit of work here as Showmaker looking to make his way over. Magnet Storm is the engage on top of him. The Shockwave is fantastic, but not enough damage, and the rail's going to go down all out onto Carrier as Kingen looks to catch up to him, but it does not work. Dissonance movement speed's going to be there, and Zeus, he's parked in the top lane. He's going to grab first turret block. Yeah,
which we all know is better.
Sort of like strategy, as now Aiming and Zeus going to be fighting one another. There is the flash forward, quickness there as well as Zeus in a bunch of trouble, still does a fair bit of work and still is able to heal a lot. And now Kellen just really wants to try and stop him.
Invest the summoner. Okay, now he should be dead.
Or at least have to flash, right? Well, he does. Yeah, there was a Vi there this time around. So cease and desist onto the Xayah. Same thing can be said for Kellen and his Rakan as he goes in once again. They're looking for Ona, who will get charmed by the quickness, and he looks to be going down. There we go. Lucid locks down that kill. Now Carrier going to be slowed up. He's just going to hit it until they convince him not to. So Soul Point not going to be picked up by T1. They will break an inhibitor turret. They might also take down Carrier. That would certainly be a good thing here for D+, but it's the grander problem is your base is dying. That is grub value right there. Kingen is going to walk himself up. There he is able to find him with a bit of the jump scare there, but they do just back away immediately. And you can see, oh, okay, Gumayusi could be in trouble. There is a really nice chance of corruption to keep him safe. Kellen gets himself out of there as well. They are keeping their health bars relatively high as Lucid lying in wait off on the side, wanting to stop an Aatrox flank angle potentially. As now they're looking for Faker. Shockwave is just used on top of his head. Bit of a mistake there from the GOAT as Carrier devours him. And he's not going to be punished too much for that one as Zeus slinks into the brush. Oh my goodness, they get the ward down. The World Ender comes in and now the Featherstorm is there for Aiming. That'll keep him safe for now as Ona is getting so low, and Lucid dives on top of the Aatrox, but it's not going to be enough to stop him ripping them to shreds. They get the knock-up, but is it going to be enough? The answer's no. He is just too big. And Ona able to jump in on top. It's a double kill for Faker as well, and somehow it's a clean ace.
And this starts off so well, right? Because as mentioned, there is no change for Guma. Faker isn't able to actually, or rather ults himself, so doesn't actually get anything going. The carry at Devour isn't sure, but it looks like there should still be an opportunity. And they know, they have a suspicion that Zeus is there, and it just doesn't matter, right? Like they try to focus down this Aatrox, who doesn't hit the Q, but ults, follows up with the ult immediately, but it just isn't enough. As the moment Aatrox starts resetting, you're just not ever gonna win that team fight. The backline of T1 is completely safe amongst all this. Aiming also doesn't actually get the perfect cooldown, right? Like you're looking ideally to really shred for the entire enemy team. But wasn't really an angle there, and you can see, like, what do you do?
Yep, no translation needed for that one. That was not exactly what... And remember, they can, if they take this inhibitor turret, they can move up towards the top lane and grab another one there. Possibly a flank angle coming in here from Kellen as there's the quickness. The Devour comes out immediately. Faker in relative safety. There's the shockwave as well. They're trying to keep themselves alive, and it's a good redemption as Ona will be punished. So
bringing us to that third game is Lucid.
Yeah, looking for the angle here. Doesn't have cease and desist available. Will be able to find the Vault Breaker into Faker. Goes golden once again. Knock up, not going to work out there for Kellen as Carrier just walks at him menacingly. And, okay, Kingen, can you make this one happen? They managed to take down the Tahm Kench. Zeus, once again, he gets himself into the fight, aiming, taking all of the damage in the universe. But the Kasante's doing some Kasante things. Faker able to take him down in the end. But look at this. The world does seem to be ending here as Showmaker tries to put him on a leash. It's not quite working. At least he's able to slow him down. The Inner Flame comes out once again, and Zeus does need to be careful, so he will back away. Might have some opportunities to get something done.
Yeah, the only downside is that Showmaker, by making these plays for his team, has actually been behind his Faker.
Okay, they're going for the angle here. His quickness into the backline. Kellen just taking so many arrows, and Gumyushi's going to lock that one down. Ona getting himself in there as Kerry gets the knock up onto aiming. Good feather pull, but Kerry is just keeping him out of the fight. Lucid now trying to be a frontline for him as they dive on in. Kerry gets a double knock up, and the flashes are now raining in, but they've lost the Xayah, and that means they've lost the fight. Carrier looks like a solo laner, and he also thinks like one as well as he looks for the 1v1 against the low health Kingen. Kingen is the Kasante, right? So he's feeling okay about it. Zeus gonna have to come on over and finish to get over there, but no, this should be almost
everything's a subscription model
nowadays. These days, subscription model. Anyway, D+ is going to try to convince Ona to leave the area, but instead they are opting in for this kill onto the Aatrox. He does just pop like a balloon. That's what happens when you can't push your buttons. T1 are just going to destroy this bottom inhibitor turret. DK going to look to try and back, and they got an Aatrox once again, and they lost.
They got to find a miracle here, Atlas.
They got to pull the trigger because this Elder is going down extraordinarily low. And there is Zeus looking for that angle to make his way into this fight. D+, you're going to have to try and pull the trigger. They're not going to be able to take it. And there's the flash forward from Gumyushi. Does not find the Chains of Corruption. The Carrier finds the Tongue Lash onto Showmaker. They're trying their very best to get themselves out of the way. As Ona a little bit early on the Magnet Storm, as now the Cease and Desist is going to come through onto Gumyushi. But Lucid is just going to burn down. The Wrath of the Dragon will land on his head. And T1... they're not going to be stopped now. Exodia has been completed, and the Nexus is in their sights.
And T1 going to push for the 2-0 here, putting them in first place.
Yeah, there's the red entrance. They're going to be able to find a little bit of flipperoonie onto Faker here, who does manage to Zhonya's. There's the Devour, though. And aiming, trying to just keep Zeus at arm's length. He might be able to do so as he dashes away and not going to quite work out there. T1 still have some Nexus turrets to deal with. Maybe the Eulogy started a little early there, Atlas.
Hold up.
Well, this inhibitor's going to go down, so it's 3 inhibs. So maybe the Eulogy just needs to be extended a little bit longer.
Maybe coming in.
Yeah, Teleport is going to bring Faker back in once again. Featherstorm going to come down as Carry just standing on top of him. There goes Kellen. And Gumyushi, he's still alive. He's still got full health as aiming is just going to get CC'd and destroyed. There's the double. Showmaker's up. But he's going to miss the Q, and the Wrath of the Dragon comes out of Faker. They will be able to take down the Nexus. T1 2-0 against D+, and they will claim first place in the LCK.
I swear he did.
There were a couple of times where he got picked
먹을만 이거 좋아
true.
but that was about it. And Faker's Zonya's usage, I think, makes up for the hula hoop that he utilized in mid lane. Because every time he just baited them for about as long as was possible.
우리 텔 있어 우리 텔 있어
Yeah, and the Kench from carry, I think, really that's the
I mean,
the five head
it's always a treat. For good and bad, often like he just goes in, and we love him for it. Stomp Kench is very aggressive. When it did have a bit of a reputation here in the LCK, let's just say that. Prior to Carrier picking up the champion, having a listen.
아쉽네 나도
Zeus